Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing one joining me from across the globe. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful, blessed, and glorious Sunday. I'm taking this opportunity to wish you an incredibly blessed, glorious, refreshing, and fruitful Sunday. I hope you've had a wonderful time so far. If not, I want to actually believe that after this broadcast, you're going to have an incredible time, or you should actually consciously, deliberately make up your mind that after this, like I'm live. Just hi there. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Awesome, thank you. Please share this video. I believe you're going to bless someone. I was just saying that I really hope that after this, if you're not having a great day so far, you're going to make that conscious, that deliberate decision that your day is going to be glorious, okay? Because more often than not, our day depends solely or wholly, or in the most part, by what we choose to do when we are proactive, which we actually have to be proactive in life. If not, life is just going to toss us around, because life will happen in any way as it pleases, or in any direction, whatever is happening. Change is the only thing in life, as we know, that is constant. So if we are not conscious, if we are not proactive, if we are not intentional about guiding our day towards a desired goal or vision, then unfortunately we're going to be lost. We're just going to be tossed about, moving about, being so busy, yet really going nowhere, or not really fulfilling our divine purposes and calling. For those of you who don't know me and maybe watching me for the very first time, I will pause to introduce myself. I'm the wonderful, inspirational, and super optimistic Dr. Sylvia Forchap-Likambi, a leading empowerment and transformation authority, 7 times international best-selling author. I am a transformational speaker. I am a transformational leader, as well, mindset transformation coach, mentor, and above all, an incredible mom, a power wife, a power mom of 3 incredible children who are all authors of 16 books amongst them. Today, I'm here to just talk to you about the endless. I'm here to talk with you. No, I'm not here to talk to you. I'm here to talk with you. I want to have a conversation with you. I want you to ask me questions. I want you to actually take part, in this live broadcast, because all I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you about the opportunities that we have out there. I'm also the founder and CEO of diverse companies, Voice of Nations, which is a social enterprise set up to educate, empower, inspire, and transform the lives and status of young girls, women, and families, so they can actually fulfill their maximum potential and step into leadership positions. I'm also founder of Global Visionary Women Network, and I'll just be showing you a global magazine has just been out. It came out about 2 weeks ago, and the prints are now ready. So check one of my website, Global Visionary Women Network. We've got the wonderful Dr. Imose Itua on the cover, and the wonderful Professor Ella Pereira at the back as well. An incredible magazine, which I'll talk about later on. So this is one of my companies as well, and it's all about uniting visionary women from all walks of life and nation, so they may educate and empower the ordinary girl, child, and woman into becoming extraordinary citizens and leaders of purpose. It's about transforming followers into leaders and leaders into global agents of change. We have a flagship Global Women Leadership Summit every year, and in between the years we have a global convention where we gather influential women, speakers, leaders, visionaries, pioneers from across the globe to come and share their power, success blueprints, strategies, resilience strategies, and blueprints, so that they can inspire delegates, aspiring female leaders, and other female leaders to thrive as well and excel, to become outstanding leaders who are actually leaving their mark on this planet. So our next summit is on the 11th and 12th of October 2024 at the Liverpool Hope University. So put that in your calendar. Is the most diverse, the largest and most diverse women's leadership summit of the year. In UK, may also be globally. Honestly, the diversity is second to none, and the interaction, it is really our core, at the heart of the work I do, especially for the Global Visionary Women Network, to get diverse women from all over the world, because I strongly believe, each and every human is unique. Each and every leader is unique and got some incredible potentials and unique leadership traits and qualities that when we bring them together, we benefit a lot. We cannot limit to a type of people, to one group of people. Then we are leaving out some endless traits, qualities, characteristics that we would benefit from those who are not included. So for me, it's all about inclusion. I always say this: I've not been called to serve a particular race. I've not been called by God to serve a particular nation. I'm called to serve everyone, to educate, empower, inspire everyone to unlock their true identity and life purpose so they may fulfill their God-given potential. Another company of ours is Likambi Global Publishing. Of course, is a publisher of these magazines. And also, I'll briefly talk to you about this powerful planner. This is my planner. Look at it. You can see things there. It's so powerful. I really hope you've set your goals for this year. You have clear goals. You have a clear vision and purpose for your life. And you're setting your goals in accordance or in alignment with your purpose and your vision so that you stay focused and disciplined to accomplish and achieve success in every area of your life. This powerful personal and professional transformation and success planner is so unique and bespoke in that it allows every user to deliberately, intentionally set their professional and personal life goals. First of all, it starts with you having a clear idea of your purpose. I've got some powerful affirmations there as well. We know the power of words, the power of affirmations, about 152 affirmations to guide you. And in each page, for each day, for the 362 days, 65 days in a year, you have an affirmation and sometimes a quote. It also gives you the opportunity to start your day after you've set your clear vision, your purpose for your life, your mission, and every year, or you have your yearly goals, and then you have your monthly goals, and your weekly goals, and then your daily goals, or whatever you set to accomplish your ulterior goal for the year, which is in alignment with your purpose. It's so powerful. I start my day every day with this planner. The first part starts with being grateful. In fact, you are obliged to start with gratitude. When you wake up, you are more grateful. You focus on the things that you have. You focus on the blessings that God has given you, that life has given to you. It brings more joy and peace into your life. Gratitude is capable of turning a feast or a meal into a feast. Is capable of bringing peace and calm wherever there is chaos and war. So once you start your day that way, you become so conscious. You become so much like cheerful. You have like a healing power within you because you recognize how blessed you are. You recognize how privileged you are. So you don't step in complaining or looking at other people wanting what you don't have. You step in being aware that you do already have a lot and you are equipped with much more to accomplish all your heart's desire. Being grateful doesn't mean that we shouldn't have a vision. We shouldn't be visionary. No, the goal for this is to set your vision and accomplish your life goals and vision. But when you're in that state of gratitude, your mind is more calm and relaxed, and you seem to achieve and reach out for your vision, your purpose in a more calm, peaceful, and optimal mental state of being. So it gives you that also opportunity to set your affirmations for the day every single day. When you affirm, it's like decreeing onto the day. Like I said before, it's becoming proactive. You speak forth onto the day that which you want the day to give back to you, that which you want to manifest, on that day. So you call out those things that are not as if they were. In other words, you set the pace for your day. And when we affirm, we create new neuronal pathways, which are simply like a roadway or a roadmap or a track to the destination, to the vision and purpose that we desire for our life. So in other words, when you step forth in the morning before you leave or before you start doing your tasks, your goals, your work, you have already set the pace. You have already mapped out a clear route to take you to the destination where you want to end on this day and achieve all that which you want to achieve on this day, which will be in alignment with your life purpose and your passions and visions, so that you can have true fulfillment at the end of the day and rest. And above all, you don't want to forget your personal growth, because it's paramount. This personal body, this is the vehicle that I have to achieve my professional or my vocational goals on this planet. Or in other words, a sum total of my purpose. I need this vehicle. I need it to be fit. I need it to be healthy. I need it to be resilient to take me through those rocky mountains, those hills when times are tough. So it is paramount that you set your personal development goals. It's paramount that you set the goals for maybe your health. For me, I'm going to pray in the morning. I'm going to meditate, read God's word. I'm going to read an audio book. I'm going to read at least a chapter of my book today. I'm going to read a book a month, and every single day a week, and every single day I've got to read this and this chapter. Most often I do audiobooks. I'm going to work out daily or 5 days a week from this time to this time. Those are my personal goals. I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm going to pray together with my family. I'm going to spend at least 30 minutes just with my children, chatting and talking, at least this amount of time with my husband. So those are my personal goals. And then I now set my professional goals, okay, which will be led to my vocation now. I plan to maybe inspire 100 people. Today, I'm going to do a workshop to impact lives, to enable people to develop confidence, unwavering confidence, to enable people to unlock their true potential, to enable people to thrive in optimal mental health and well-being. I set these daily goals in alignment with my monthly goal. For example, last month or the month of December, our goal was one of the key goals for that month, get this Global Visionary Woman magazine published. So we had steps, actionable steps that will lead us to publishing the goal. As our deadline was drawing closer, which had to be the 31st of December, January, we had to rush. We had to increase our pace. We had to do more. So you set your goals in accordance with your ulterior purpose or vision for the month and then for the week. So, for example, right now I've got another goal. By the end of March 2023, I want to get some of my children's books published. I want to get one of my book, a powerful book on gratitude and the antidote for overcoming grief. So my intensity, my work habits, my actions are going to increase. The distance between your goal, your vision, where you want to be, achieve that published book, and where you are right now without any book, but simply the ideas, that distance between your ideas and the final published product is time. What will make that time, that distance shorter or longer are the actions you take. The more actions you take daily, the shorter time it will take for me to get from my reality to my desired, reality or my desired goal. Let me see what the wonderful Claudette, lovely to see you, lovely darling. I want you to ask me any questions you want to ask me, personal development, mindset transformation, marriage, family, children. I am really your go-to lady, okay? I apply all of this in my life, so definitely I can tell you, teach you, support you to also thrive in these areas. So what are these various programs we have? My different companies, like I said, talking about Likambi Global Publishing, we have a key specialty, okay? Children's book, that we are the people to go to. My children are authors. My first daughter at 7, she wrote her first book, published it at 10. My daughter at 5, she was the youngest author in the world in 2021. And now she's got 6 books, my son. So again, these are practical things. It's so easy for us because we've applied it again and again, and we continue to apply it in our children's life. And our goal is to inspire other children to become great authors as well, like my children. Because if my children can do this, so many other children out there can do this. And they have inspired so many children. In fact, the youngest author right now in the world is 5. He's published his book at 4, inspired by my daughter. I remember that phone call when the mother spoke to me. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited because that's our goal. My children publish book, not so they stand out and they're the only authors, but they want to share with their peers. That age is no barrier to achieving your dreams and vision. That if they can become published authors, not of 1, not of 2, but you're talking of 6 books. My son wrote a book in 1 month. In the month of August, he wrote 10 books and illustrated 10 illustrations, not 10. I mean, each book had about 20 illustrations in 1 month. I mean, 30 days. He came to me and said he wanted a particular iPhone, I think one of the highest model and stuff like that. He was always breaking his phones. He said, Mom, if I publish 10 books, he came up with the idea, if I publish 10 books in the month of August, will you buy me a whatever phone, iPhone? I smiled within me. I was like, son, anything you request. If you're going to write 10 books in 1 month, everything illustrated to be published, I'll give you anything. I told him the deal is done, it's yours. He went to work. Every day he would write. Sometimes in the first 3 days, he wrote 3 books. When we went out in August, we were in the States for holiday. So he kind of slowed down a bit, but he had a goal. He had a vision. He had a plan. By the end of the month, he also inspired his cousin in the States, who will be publishing his own book through us as well this March. So he inspired him as well to publish a book, because there's no way you stay by children who, instead of spending hours and hours on gadgets, they spend time writing, drawing, and reading. Your children will be inspired. So if you need your children to become that outstanding author, we know it. It's our lane, it's so easy. It's like ABC. You may have no clue. I am a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm there to support the mothers. I support a lot of mothers because, of course, a 5-year-old publishing a book has nothing to do with the whole process. It's always their mom who actually work on their behalf. In fact, it's always been the mom. I've not seen any father once come to me yet for a child to publish a book. So kudos to all the fabulous moms out there. Your family is doing well. Thank you, darling. And I just believe, God places us. When God places a gift within us, it's for us to share. When God give us that gifts, talents, and abilities, it's for us to share. I want to emphasize on this. Every child, every family is a family of God. Every family has incredible potential. Every child. But my question is, how many parents are willing to actually invest the time, energy, and resources to enable their children shine in their maximum potential? Some of us as parents, we are so busy. We are so busy hustling our own hustle. Some parents are still going to school. They still have to study and write exams. They don't have time. So again, I just want to encourage parents. I'm here for you. I do a lot of coaching. And again, which is why I'm going to talk about the various programs I have. We'll be sharing out my leaflet out there, because what happens every year, I take a new coaching and mentee coaches and mentee into my program, because I get new space, spaces are liberated. I do a lot of training on the ground, like daily training with Voice of Nations. We have physical offices. So I'm not just coming to social media to talk. This is my lifestyle. This is my daily work. Okay. I no longer work in the hospital. I run my own businesses every single day, Monday to Friday. I'm either empowering, I'm inspiring, I'm running workshops. So I've got limited time. And some of the workshops we run with the women live on the ground, I do coach some of them as well. But I always give that opportunity and also give offers, great offers up to 30% for those who want to join me in any area of your life. Because the truth is, coaching is guiding you to identify your vision, your life goals and purpose, and then I work with you, guide you to achieve that. Mentoring is also guiding you. Okay, maybe I might not have been, I'm not a lawyer, but you want to be a lawyer, but the principles of success are the same. And then we can link you up to some lawyers who can help you practically in the field. Let me see what a wonderful Claudette is saying. Or washing from. Oh, that's beautiful. Sending you lots of love, Claudette. Sending you lots of love. And my love to your beauty family, to you as well. And God bless you. I really hope that you achieve your greatest heart's desire, your life purpose, and also inspire those around you to do the same. Because it's so powerful. It's incredibly fulfilling when we live our life purpose, when we impact life and inspire others to do the same. It's incredible. It makes the work lighter, because what happens, imagine I'm that super optimistic. I'm one of the most optimistic humans you can ever find on earth. In fact, everybody who works with me, some women come to my office. When I work with them, they're like, I wish I could get a dose of you, Sylvia, or Dr. Sylvia, and just put into my pocket. Some say put in their closet. When things are really rough, they just open it to get an air, that fresh air of inspiration and optimism from Dr. Sylvia to feel a bit better. So when we do that, we have a lot of women joining that movement, because positivity, inspiration rubs off, okay? It's like negativity. When they interact with us, when they work with us, we rub that energy off them. They see that it's authentic. They see that it's so easy and natural. In fact, the most natural state of our being is being optimistic, is being hopeful, is being excited and passionate about life. You could see children, how excited they are about life. Just a little candy. A child gets to a little candy shop of £1, maybe even 50p, they are excited. We are super energetic beings. We are naturally meant to be passionate and to love life, but we've allowed our hearts, burdens, the desires of life, the troubles of life, the burdens of life, and other people's burdens to weigh us down. To wear us down. We've allowed unforgiveness, resentment, all of these things that we put on us to really change who we truly are. So I give people that opportunity. And like I said, it's incredible, because now I'm not the only one. My incredible Sarah, who works with me, she's a project admin. She's just amazing. She is just amazing. In fact, some other people who have worked with me for so long said, sometimes when she's speaking, it's like you can hear Dr. Sylvia speaking in her. But it's that positivity, it's that optimism, it's that energy to serve, to give, to love. And everybody who steps into our organizations, into our various offices or programs, they feel that love and they live, they want to share. We tell them all we are asking not to give back to us. You go and give of that gift of love, of inspiration to others you meet along the way. So again, I've got a lot of coaching programs going on. Let me see what Claudette said. Thank you, fabulous. I have a lot of coaching programs. I'm taking on new coaches. I'm taking on new mentees. If you want to get into my coaching program, minimum is 6 weeks. That's one of my best sellers, you know, and they're all on offers. You can check my website. I'm going to put it there later on. drsylvialikambi.com is my other business, which is all on personal development, transformation, leadership. We do a lot of leadership programs. I've got coaching program. If you want to become an author, you want to become an incredible public speaker like myself, and even maybe much more like than me, you know, just to speak from the heart, to captivate your audience. I mean, this is the thing about me. I've heard it again and again and again. And when I speak, I step in to speak, workshop, offices, schools, people are like glued to me. I mean, if a pin drops, you could literally sometimes hear the pin. I'm naturally gifted, but it takes some principles and strategies to remain this way. First and foremost is understanding yourself. So I don't just teach you to become an external public speaker, looking at someone you want to copy. No, it's finding your own authenticity. It's finding your greatest strengths. It's finding the power in your words. It's finding the authenticity in your voice. So when you speak from the heart. Above all, it's about you becoming first and foremost transformed, so you may be able to transform others. If your life is not transformed, you cannot be a transformational agent. It takes a transformational agent to transform the lives of others. It takes a transformed individual, in other words, to transform the lives of others. So my public speaking goes beyond just techniques. It's not techniques. It's becoming your full self, finding your purpose, your message, which is unique to you, to your gifts, your strengths and qualities. So you speak directly from the heart. You captivate your audience. You could do talks without looking at notes, without just presenting a PowerPoint. In fact, if you're presenting a PowerPoint, you might just be teaching as well. You know, some people have gone to some places where they are talking. It's just like you're in a classroom where they're just giving you information. It's not, you don't find the life in it. The gift of a transformational speaker is the life that they are able to bring into rooms and their audiences, because of course you are transforming the place. So if there's life in me, which there is so much life and passion, when I step into any environment, you can experience the light. You can experience the power of my presence, of my passion, and people live there thrilled, excited, passionate as well to find their own purpose, their own calling, so they may live fully and excitedly, passionately as well, living the life they were born to live. And of course, making a living from that. I don't even want to say living. Okay, we're not born to make a living. You are living to fulfill your purpose. So they may earn from that. They may bring in great income and profits from living their purpose. In fact, transforming their passions into profitable businesses. So if you want to become that speaker and your number one go-to expert, I will teach you some of the key powerful strategies that, believe me, you'll become an incredible speaker. I will teach you some strategies that I also use. How can I speak for 2 hours without notes, without ever worrying I will forget? I will teach you some of those strategies, and believe me, you will never miss a line. You will be so confident. You will never get there. I can never think of the time where I'm going to speak and I'm shaking, I'm shivering. Wake me up at midnight, Sylvia. As long as it's on personal development, it's on transformation, it's on family, it's on marriage, it's on children. I mean, those reality, those practical things of life. Of course, you wake me up to come and teach you about piloting, geography. I might need to read a lot to be able to teach you about that. But in my domain, anytime, any hour, because it's authentic. It's like when you are the light, you don't teach people what it means to be light. When people step in your presence, they experience the light. And then they can see and not stumble. And your light will also shine into the dark areas of their life. So while they find their own light within, they might benefit from your light in that moment. Your light may bring them into the awareness of where they are in life and who they are. So they can see deep within them who they are and find their own light within them. So they too can transform and impact lives. So you see, if that light were not light, if that light was not transformed into light in the first place, it cannot transform individuals. It cannot bring light wherever it is present. So it's our nature when we talk of transformational speaker. I'm simply stepping in and being everything that I'm born and created to be. I'm simply being myself, and yeah, you are blessed by me simply being myself, all that God created me to be. That's simply what I mean by a transformational speaker. I love this room. I love you too, my darling Agro Grace. I saw your comment the other day. God bless you, darling. Lots of love. And honestly, I think it's just when we all are truly authentic, honestly. I say this, and I say it honestly, not with any pride. Like I always say this. Living a life of purpose when you know who you are, There's nothing to be proud about. It's not like you're superior or you're inferior to anyone. You're just you. Let me just take the parts of the body, okay? Simple. The eyes are the only parts of this body that can see and bring light to my entire body. If my eyes are closed, I walk for a distance. I'm going to surely stumble right now. I'm full. My eyes are closed. Okay? If I don't have any mouth, I can literally not eat food. They'll have to give me intravenous and all of that. But the eyes are not proud. The eyes are simply doing that which they were placed, specifically designed and placed on this body to do. The only success of the eyes are when they see. Success is when they see. They are designed to see. Eyes that see cannot be singing and wanting awards and making all praises. Like, no. It's the norm. That's the only reason they were placed on this body. And seeing is not thanks to them. It's the creator. Is the designer of the eyes. God created the eyes and equipped them with specific strengths, tools, resources, focal lenses that they may easily, seamlessly achieve this function of seeing. It's exactly the same thing with us, darling. And once you are full of that purpose, you are so aware of who you are, which is exactly what I'm doing. I don't take the glory. It's just the least, if I don't do all that God created me to do, I'm actually doing a disservice to you and the world. I'm working below my potential. I'm working on my full potential, which is like bring up incredible children, be the best wife that I can, have a great marriage so I may reflect that to other couples, inspire them to still believe in marriage so we can inspire many more to build unshakable marriages and families. If I don't do that, I'm working below my potential. I cannot have that fulfillment, deep inner peace and fulfillment. And when I do that, as much as yes, people will say congratulations, in all humility I say thank you, but we should not be carried away by our past successes, because they too will distract us from fulfilling our greatness. If I get so carried away that, we just did, the Global Women Magazine, issue 4 is now out. The next issue, we just came from, doing a great Global Leadership Summit, MA Summit. When was that? In October. And I want to celebrate that. I'm going to stop living. I'm going to stop impacting lives. And the truth is, every day that you and I are alive, by wonderful grace, clothed, and everyone joining, everything we have done is no longer our potential. Everything I've done to this day is no longer my potential. What I still have to do on this day is untap energy, untap potential, the talents within me that have not been utilized. If I want to stay a lot on my past successes and look at those and taking the glory from them, it will inhibit me from progressing and becoming all that I was created to be. So too often, honestly, it's not really like, and I think when you are living in your full potential, people cannot help but love you. They must love you because you're just you're authentic. And you understand that you are genuine. You don't please people. You are here to serve people. Whether it pleases me or not, and it's not about pleasing myself, it's about doing a service I'm called to accomplish. Whether it pleases me or not, if God called me, Sylvia, you need to go speak to this lady. You need to go speak to this child. You need to give them that word of hope that they need so they can go on and not commit suicide and live and fulfill their purpose. I need to make the sacrifice and go. I don't make the sacrifice to please them. Whether they say thank you or not is irrelevant, because my God is the one who rewards me. And above all, the true reward is that deep inner sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that I have from fulfilling my purpose. And I only get better. Because the more we use of our gifts and talents, the more God equips us with more. So honestly, when you are living your full potential, people who don't love you, they may be jealous, but the truth is they cannot become you. People are bound to love you because the energy, the light. Who doesn't love the light? Who doesn't love? Of course, there are times when we don't need the light because we need to sleep, isn't it? But when we need to utilize the light for a specific purpose, we want the light to be turned on. And the light is just being the light. It's not pretending. And I think it's the same thing, honestly, Claude. Everyone, I believe, will love you, Grace. You are fabulous. You are amazing. Especially when we are authentic selves. We struggle when we are not our authentic self to please people. We want to be a certain way. And then because it doesn't even please us, when they are not happy, we give up. We cannot be consistent as well. But when I'm living my true life, consistency is the only way. I cannot stop. The only time I stop is when I'm dead. That's the only life I know to live, and that's the only life I was born and equipped to live. And so too are you, Claudette. So too are you, Grace. So too are you, Jane. Everyone watching and will watch later on. Remain authentic. In fact, I do a lot of programs, coaching programs as well on unlocking your full potential, unlocking your life purpose, identifying who you truly are, how unique you are. When you understand honestly who you are, you find out your true identity and life purpose. There is no competition. You know why? No one can compete with you. I cannot compete with you, Grace. You outbeat me in the area where God called you to thrive. I will struggle because you are naturally equipped and gifted to fulfill that purpose. It's like the eyes trying to compete with the nose in breathing. The nose will outbeat the eyes. The eyes were not designed to breathe. Hence, they were not equipped with the nostrils and everything they need to breathe. They will struggle in vain. It's like wanting to get a fish to come out and climb a tree like a monkey. Absolutely. There is no competition. You understand the power of harnessing our strengths, complementary working. You understand, like the eyes know that even though I'm the only part of the body that see, I need the nose to breathe, to continue to give life to this body so I may be able to see. And the mouth knows that even though I don't see, I'm the only part of this body that can speak for the body or that can take food, chew, eat, so it may bring more health and life for this body. We all work for the edification of the body. There is no envy. There is all respecting, appreciating, and acknowledging the other. None is superior or inferior. The eyes are not superior to the nose. The nose are not superior to the eyes. None is greater. None is more beautiful. They are all designed differently for their very unique purposes. So too are you and me. And when we understand that there is no envying, there is celebrating the wonderful Grace, there is celebrating the amazing Claudia, there is celebrating the amazing Sarah as well. And so thank you. I just thought I would let you all know this. It's paramount that you be your authentic self, and honestly, you find yourself. You simply dominate. It's like the eyes on this body dominate. No parts in the body can see. So when you step in, you dominate. When you step in, you take over. So if people are not happy with you, they cannot take over where you are fulfilling your purpose. They will be silent, stay behind, and then you achieve your purpose in that place. And when you leave, then they can show up. It's like light and darkness cannot coexist. If you are the light, you don't have to be afraid of the darkness. You don't have to think, oh, darkness doesn't like me. It doesn't matter. Your purpose is to shine. When you step in where darkness is, darkness cannot shine. Darkness is engulfed by your presence. You shine. And then when you are done with shining, you turn off the light now. Darkness can be made manifest. So I wish you all an incredible day. If you have any questions, please ask me. Again, I want to actually talk to you about this incredible Global Women Leadership Summit that we are doing in October. It's a flagship event. We do it every year. If you are abroad, we do support with visa applications. We write a letter together with the university to endorse and support your visa application. We also sort out your hotel, accommodation, and everything. So you have enough time if you're thinking of attending this Global Women Leadership Summit. Nobody attends the summit and lives the same way. Honestly, the testimonials are powerful. Do you know what it means to be in a room of almost 250 powerful, incredibly, inspirational women, leaders or aspiring leaders? The energy just rubs off. The light, the energy, the inspiration, everything is so powerful and felt that people live there finding themselves. People live there making commitments to start living the life they were called to live. People live there with new zeals, with new passion and purposes because they have been inspired. People live there because they have been kickstarted. The energy in the whole 2-day summit is powerful. It's powerful. So we want you to attend. And then along the summit, we also have this wonderful leadership magazine. This is the leadership edition. We interview incredibly powerful women, pioneers, influential leaders from across the globe. We also have some male leaders here. This is a professor, the pro-vice chancellor of the Liverpool John Moss University. Professor Tim Nichols. Of course, we have men who do support and encourage women leadership. So we want to work with them. We cannot isolate ourselves. As female leaders, we need to collaborate, okay? Like I said before, different parts of the body. A man is designed differently. A woman is designed differently. To really benefit our world to the maximum, we need to harness each one's potential strengths and build up. So this is also some incredible entrepreneurs, leaders. Forchap-Likambi, she's always the youngest. She's an incredible young entrepreneur. She's my daughter. Of course, she's following after mommy's steps. She's also interviewed. These interviews will inspire you, honestly. If you're a woman, you are like lost, you are not consistent, you keep taking actions and falling back. When you read the stories, the interviews of these incredible women, that's Dr. Ruth Emehosi, so many people, honestly, so many incredible leaders. Dr. Penny Hockman, she's also the pro-vice chancellor of the Liverpool Hope University. And, you know, she's just incredible. You have some incredible leaders there. And then we also have part of our last event, we have some incredible articles. So it is full of powerful interviews that will uplift you, that will inspire you to transform your life, to take your life to the next level, you know, that you have to be, so you can fulfill your life purpose. If you want to get this magazine, you can get it on our website. You can inbox me here, www.globalvisionarywomen.org, or you just put Global Visionary Woman Magazine, or send me a message. We have the digital ones and we have these printed copies, which are just, I think, on offer now. Is it $6.99? So please do reach out. You'll be really blessed with this magazine. We have a lot of programs we're going to be running during the World Book Day, because of course my children are authors. I'm an author myself of 7 books. 2 of my other powerful books are coming up. I'm really working hard. Last night I slept at about 4 a.m. because I'm like, I need to finish it. And I know myself, once I'm so focused, I can take 3 days to finish these books. It's easier for me to even write a book, just start and finish, because the truth is, a lot of people who take so long to write a book, they write and stop. And each time you write your book and stop, it happens to me, you waste a lot of time. When I go back there now, I need to read where I ended to see make sense and then start adding. But once you are seated and it's flowing, it's incredible. I remember my first 2 books, I wrote them in 3 days each. It just was just flowing, the inspiration and everything. And I just completed the book, and then now I had to do some revision. But once it's been reading, it's easier to revise. It's easier to make those changes and move, you know, phrases to different parts and chapters. But the key thing is putting it out there to bring out that first draft of that manuscript. So I'm really taking a lot of actions because I want it out in March. So it will be out for pre-order before World Book Day, which is the 7th. My children will also be doing some incredible work in partnership with libraries this year for World Book Day. We also want to come to schools. If you want us in your group, you may just have a community group, children in your church. It's really vital and important that we have peer mentoring. That simply means people of the same age, the same caliber, that they can see themselves in others, because we cannot become what we don't really see. Okay, why we always say this, it's not necessarily about seeing people. If you see who you want to become in your mind, because there's always a first. How did the first person become what they've not seen? So I really don't buy it. I think some people really misquote this when they say you cannot become what you don't see. No, if you see it in your mind, that's the vision. Okay, it's enough for you to see it in your mind to have that vision, and you will become, because they've always been pioneers in every field. There was a child that ever wrote the first book as a child. The child saw nobody, but it took the child's vision and aspirations to take that child to the place. It just makes it far easier for other young people when they see a lot of young people in the field, because it becomes the norm. You know, when something is normal, we don't struggle. We just take it as norm. We instead think when we don't achieve it, there's a problem with us. We think, how come we are not achieving this when everybody is achieving it? But when we see something as difficult, we put the bar so high, and then we just fall back when we take the first step and we cannot achieve it. We say, after all, it's so hard. After all, no one of my age have achieved that. So it's just that it helps and facilitates the process. But believe me, your child can become the pioneer, the first in everything. We've had great inventors. The key is seeing it in your mind. It's not seeing it physically. So never buy into that narrative. In fact, all through my life as, you know, a successful scientist, medical researcher, it's not like I had to see people out there. No, I had a clear vision in my mind. Honestly, of course, I was inspired by a doctor in my neighborhood, but the only reason inspired me to choose a particular field and then study in Italy, because he studied in Italy. But behold, my key vision, where I saw myself, was in my mind. And at a later stage, God gave me a different vision, a bigger vision. I've never seen anyone studied so much, so hard, got a great job, well-paid job, and left because they had a calling upon their life. So I had no one, but God gave me a very clear vision of what he was calling me to do. So I could leave that job. I could leave the security of my wonderful, well-paid job, which I was passionate about, you know, finding cures and medication therapies to help people, you know, or diagnose certain illnesses, specifically leukemia, at an earlier stage, and giving better therapeutic and prognostic options. But I walked away from that simply because I have a vision. In fact, it says, without vision, people perish, not without role models. Okay? So even though my children are incredible role models, don't get that mixed up. It's just it's so super beneficial. So children really can relate. You know, children don't just think, children only mean, being a child just mean playing game 24/7, just wasting my time watching the movie. No, because they see another child, hey, this child, 5-year-old Destiny, she's now 8, she's written 6 books, she's got 3 more books to publish. You know, what am I doing with my day? Destiny is not some super, duper little child. Destiny is equally as gifted, like every little child out there. But the difference is Destiny's parents, mom especially, has taken the time, effort, be present to harness Destiny's greatest strengths and gifts to support her, give her the resources and platform for her to shine in her full potential, for her to actually put her gifts to maximum use and write books to inspire other children to do the same. So if you want us to come, my children, they do a lot of public speaking. My daughter, my first daughter, even them, honestly, Destiny 5, when Destiny speaks, usually we start with Latoya. She's 17 now. She's an incredible speaker. Incredible speaker. If you've seen me speak, Latoya is like 100 times greater than me. And I'm so proud because, yes, I've put again the time, the effort. I'm their number one coach. I'm their mentors. And I ensure they are the best. I remember in those very first days, if they have speaking engagement, I call Latoya out there. She needs to repeat it to me. When they stop, I send them back. I get them to the point. I started with Latoya. I don't like normally by myself because I realize that we have so much gifts. And of course, as their mom, I have the gifts from speaking from the heart. They too would have that gifts. When you start reading, you become complacent. Every day you want to present, you are reading. Every day you want to present, you are using PowerPoints. But when you understand that you have the gift to speak naturally, you just go with the flow. So I will train Latoya. I will give her key points. I will teach her those my strategies so she doesn't forget her key points. But I'm like, Latoya, no notes. I go through with her 30 minutes. If she's speaking for 30 minutes, if she stops in 15 minutes, we're going to start all over again. Sorry, Latoya. Sometimes I give her a break. That's training. That's training. And Destiny as well. And believe me, Latoya speaks incredibly well. Like I said, Caleb as well. He's a bit like a boy, a bit calm and all of that. When Destiny speaks, the energy in the room changes. Her voice, the loudness, her posture. Even when she was 5, in fact, people are wowed. People are wild. So if you want them to come and speak and inspire your children, maybe it's a community group, maybe it's in your church, gone are those times that we want to become so spiritual. God has sent us as ambassadors. We are light to this world. It says, let people see your works. Your good deeds. These are physical works. And, your light, when it shines on them, then they will give glory to you. So gone are those days where we are so spiritual. All we teach children is pray, pray, pray. God has sent them to carry out a mandate. God has given them gifts. What are you doing with your gifts? Are you using it? We know the story of the tenants, of the talents, where God gave one 5 talents, another one 1, another one 2, and those who went and multiplied the talents. In other words, they invested it, they used it, they made more out of their talents. God was so which is representing God anyway. Is it the owner or the landlord who gave them the talents? The master was super happy with them, proud of them, that they used their talents, and he said, I will rejoice and give you much more. The one who did not use it, it took even from him. The one that it was given to him, because obviously God surely knows our potential. We ask sometimes, why is this person giving a lot? The truth is because they keep using their gifts. They keep using the few they've been given. And because God sees that they are faithful. I cannot give you this water bottle. You never use it, it's full. What capacity does it have for me to top it up? God cannot refuel it. If constantly you are afraid, you have that limited mentality, that lack mindset, it's going to get finished. When you know that you are from a great creator, from a great source, sweetheart is boiling, who is abundance. If this water finishes, you are not bothered. There is a source. You're going to fill it up. You drink some water. You cannot be worried that it's going to get finished. I will not drink it. I will not share. I will not serve. Only when it gets finished can I then be replenished. And guess what? Imagine I had this bottle of water for 1 month. I'm not using it. It gets warm. It gets stale. It's no more refreshing. When I use it up, it's empty. There is a new pouring, a new revival, a new refreshment. You're fresher with new ideas, with new gifts, with new inspirations. It's exactly the same thing. So if your children are not using their gifts, you wonder why maybe these particular children are doing a lot. Why my son will sit and write a book, 10 books in 1 month, because he's been utilizing his gifts. His creativity is at its maximum. That he's highly inspired and creative. His imagination is super, super wild. It's like God's imagination now, because God created us just like him in his image as creators. So because he's using his, he's actually sharpening it, fine-tuning, and he's being inspired more. God is actually, trusting him with all of the gifts again to do more, because I cannot entrust something in you that I don't trust that you're gonna effectively, utilize it, harness it to fulfill the purpose for which I'm trusting you to fulfill. But when you use it and fulfill that purpose, then I can entrust more to you. In other words, I cannot entrust you with 1 million when if I give you 100 pounds, you're just going to squander it. So I think it's exactly the same thing. God needs to take us through that part. So I love you all. God bless you all. I'm going to leave you now. And again, I just said we have a lot of programs going on for those who are in Liverpool. From April, we're running a lot of coaching, mentoring sessions to help you get into employment, your heart's desires, whatever goals. Sweetheart, that is boiling and falling out. Whatever employment area or field, career, I will be your personal coach, okay? And the good news is it's all fully funded. You won't be paying a dime. So just take note of that. You can put your request, give us your interest. So we start collecting those who are interested. It will only be for 40 women for the whole year. 40 women. We'll go through some incredible sessions with you, help you. Is it you want to seek a job of your choice, your dreams? You want to get into the career of your dreams? Have all these connections with different schools, different training companies. We also have connections with different companies where you can do your work placement and all of that. So we'll work with you to guide you to get into your career of choice. Alternatively, if you want to start a business, the good thing I always say is I'm not just a business advisor, or in the technical terms of it, theoretical terms of it, someone just with an MBA who is not a practical business owner. I'm a business owner. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've started businesses. I've run several businesses. I keep running them. I keep maintaining them for 10 years plus now. One of my first companies has been going on for 12 years from strength to strength. So you have the privilege of meeting an entrepreneur, a business owner. So I will really guide you, giving you more tools, strategies, my own strategies that I even use and implement to guide you to start your business. So if you just want to start your business, you want to open a social enterprise as well, like myself, we also help you, guide you some funds that are available. So you will be actually working with us at the Transformation Center from April. This project will start. I think it's a transformation project. So you do join us if you're in Liverpool, specifically in the Sefton area. We want to support you. All my fabulous ladies there. Liz, if you watch this video, we want to support you. Sarah, all the others. Susan, we really want to support you. And the good thing is that there is actually no cost to this. It's fully funded for you. I will personally coach you and mentor you. So you'll be having one of the best. Okay, that's from April. And we'll have other programs going on, other health and well-being programs which are funded. But if you actually cannot afford or you don't qualify for these funded programs, we always do great discounts, especially with challenging moments now, the living, living crisis, how do they call it? Cost of living crisis and all of that. We've really reduced our prices. We're giving discounts. So if you want me to coach you, to mentor you, you want to start your own business, maybe you want to start your own social enterprise, your own charity, do get in touch with me. We've got some incredible offers, one-to-one basis, some health and well-being programs. That's where you're struggling with depression. Honestly, I've worked with several individuals, more than 400 or even 500 individuals that I can say specifically depression. Yes, hundreds of individuals, and they have come out. Depression can be overcome naturally, okay? I am a medical researcher, I'm a scientist, I'm a doctor of pharmacy. We've studied all of this, and the most latest research by my colleagues, Professor Johan Mockroft, which is actually an incredible scientist. She's also the head at NHS, and another professor, which is actually a psychiatrist. The latest study, which was done in 2021 by University College of London, the latest and the largest of its kind, with regards to depression, prove that depression is not caused by imbalances of hormones in your brain, like we've always known. So the question is, why are they giving you depressants that should be working to reduce or increase these hormones that are, hypothesized to be reduced when you have depression? Absolutely. There is no reduction of serotonin in your brain because you are depressed. If that were the case, do you know what? I'd always known this anyway, but now I really feel confident. Not even confident, always felt confident. But because some people are so skeptical when you say overcome depression. Naturally, those people are so fearful. Those people were, in fact, because they don't have knowledge. My people perish for lack of knowledge. So they are really, really not knowledgeable. Their only knowledge is the media, what they read on internet about depression. They now become angry with people who say you can overcome depression naturally. The thing is only drugs. No, I'd always known. I'm a medical researcher. I was a scientist. We had never scientifically proven, there was no studies that showed that depression is caused by imbalances of hormones in the brain. It was a hypothesis. And then we went to study rats, you know, in the laboratory, looking when they become super excited, like getting into that psychotic state, you know, like people with schizophrenia, you are vibrating and all of that. They saw high cortisols in their system, in their brain. And now to prove that it is a high cortisol level that's causing that tremor, that shaking and all of that, like you shiver, you know, agitation, we had to go block it with specific antagonists. It simply means specific drugs that will block the functioning of those cortisols, of those chemicals that I think are responsible for those tremor or those shaking or those, you know, anxiety. When you block them, then you found that they were calm. That's how we came out. So you thought that the same thing. But my question has always been, who comes to you to measure your brain? You cannot even, cortisols are so volatile. Cortisols will transform, they will change from one form to the other. So you cannot even measure cortisols. And if I measure your cortisol level just before you were smiling, 1 minute after you are smiling, you're happy, you're singing, it will give me a completely different level. So you cannot rely on a tool or a methodology that is so inconsistent, that's not replicable. And also, no one ever goes to check in your brain if you have high levels of dopamine or not. And the truth is, some people have different personalities. I am super passionate, for example. I'm super excited. I was that kind of child who would never sit quiet. We would be like, oh, my daughter is like that. So based on my personality, I would normally have a higher level of dopamine. I will have a higher level of adrenaline in my body, in my brain. So in fact, and that's why some of those antidepressants, all of them, they actually suppress people's authentic personality. Because unfortunately, it just sedates you now. You become literally like a zombie. You don't have your own emotions, unfortunately. So this study shows the largest, highest of its kind. Depression is not caused by an imbalance of chemical hormones in your brain. If that were the case, I mean, it's just common sense, okay? Think about it. For example, my field was leukemia. There are some certain markers that you come to the lab and I take your blood cells. When we go test them, you know, I used to work on BCL, which is B cell leukemia, and also AML, acute myeloid leukemia. It affects a lot of little children. And then there is CLL, which is chronic lymphocytic leukemia. The lymphocytes are a type of white blood cells. So I used to work on those 3 types of leukemia, okay? There are certain markers, whether you are super happy, super duper great, going fine, healthy, you don't even feel any pain. We diagnose you by identifying those markers in your blood. When we take your blood cells, we extract those lymphocytes, go there and put those markers there, then go to some imaging, you can see them. So it's got nothing to do with how you feel. It's got nothing to do with whether you're happy or not. Those markers will be there. Then you can truly say the cause of leukemia. You've got some certain BCL and all of that, plus some certain markers or flags that you see in your B cells, and you know that you have leukemia, okay? If that were true for depression, I would expect that whether you are happy or not, super duper excited, you are not sad, you come to the lab, I will find low levels of serotonin in your brain. Nobody ever does that. Even you can't tamper with people's brain. You can't go there to measure serotonin levels. Like I said again, they are very, very fragile, very volatile. They will change, transform immediately. They will break down immediately in no time. So it's not even measured. But what I'm saying is, if that were true, a totally happy, joyous person could still be depressed. But absolutely no. Give me one person who is depressed that has not had a challenge in life, that has overwhelmed them, that they've given up on. It's a matter of resilience. It's a matter of our threshold to overcoming challenges. And no drug can solve my problem. I'm sorry, physical problems of reality. No drug can cure my marriage. It's like we have a marital problem here. Then the pharmaceutical people say, we've designed an anti-divorce medication. Nonsense, rubbish. That maybe with people with divorce, there's high level of cortisols in their brain, of course, because we are feeling, we are always in the fight-flight mechanism, releasing cortisols, but then they are naturally broken down after you have fought the battle or after you've run away from the battle. The body has natural reuptake receptors that will take off those cortisols, and that's what is mimicked to now give you. They give you, for example, serotonin, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Why do they inhibit it? Because once you've been anxious, you've been in that state, you know, seasons in life. All of us will go through seasons of sadness, seasons of joy. I cannot be sad. I'm going through my trials. And maybe you know, if it's taken me so long, yes, they'll say clinically diagnosed depression is like 2 weeks consistency of sadness, because of course you've not been able to overcome that trauma, that challenge that is making you sad. Meet people, talk to them, seek help, ask for help. Ask for the burden to be uplifted. It's the burden that overwhelms you, the burden that puts stress and pressure on you. And of course, you'll be releasing some cortisol, yes, naturally, but it doesn't really cause depression, because it's the body's natural mechanism to fight danger, to run away, to protect your body, to preserve you, to survive by fighting and conquering, or by running away and preserving you. But once you have run away from the danger, that's why we have those reuptake receptors. What they do now, that excess cortisol will be taken up. So your body can be cleared of cortisols. You can now start breathing back normally. You know, because once you have those cortisols, you breathe very fast, you know, shallow breathing, your muscles begin to contract, you can run faster than Usain Bolt. But not, once that is accomplished, it takes them up. The reuptake inhibitors, in fact, they call them reuptake, because it is first of all released and then they take it up again. But what they think, because they have assumed, hypothesized that you have low levels of serotonin, they gave you now medications to block the reuptake of serotonin, so you can have high levels of serotonin, what we also call the feel-good hormone. But beloved, when you exercise, you do sports, you work out, you release natural serotonin. You release endorphins, the feel-good hormone. You increase your threshold of pain. If you're always sitting there, not working out, you have low levels of endorphins, which is the natural hormones that relieves pain. We study endorphins, the chemical structure, to make morphine clinically to give you. Why go take anti-analgesic? Why go take drugs that will make you not feel pain when you have the natural ability? And if you see people who work out, who keep fit, but some people will say it's difficult to work out when you are depressed. No, it's more difficult to stay there. Like my daughter says, choose your heart. It's really depressing to just sit in one place, you know, to take the life off you. It's painful. Make an effort. Seek people who will genuinely support you, hold your hands and work with you. They say they understand you, but I promise you, we're going to be in this. It's no shame. Okay, people have different thresholds, like I say. The strong are there to support the weak. So, of course, my threshold to overcome challenge is like I go to the gym with someone who is fitter than me. Ooh, I cannot lift my maximum kilos that I lift when I go to the gym to work out. You know, I don't want to sprain my muscles. I'm sure maximum will be 10. I don't even lift 10, honestly. I usually do 5 each. I can do 10. Imagine a man who's been going to the gym, keeping fit. It's hard. Their body is naturally resilient than mine. Their body will withstand weights that my body cannot withstand. What is hard? Practice. We need to practice. We need to ensure that we are capable of overcoming our challenges. We learn. We invest in ourselves. We invest in our personal development. Is it that relationship breakup? Is it that divorce? Don't allow any divorce to take you into depression. Build your resilient muscles. Speak to other people. Maybe people who've been divorced and overcome it. Meet those who can help you so that you can build your resilient muscles. You can build your muscles so you are more stronger. Just like that fit gentleman will go into the gym, and just like he's holding up a baby with one hand, he will lift 100 kilograms. And if I dare lift 50 kilograms, I'm sure I'll be falling down. You know, but they have built their muscles. They have become more resilient. The more you make an attempt to solve problems, to face your problem heads on. But what do those antidepressants do? They calm you down, you sedated, you go to sleep, you forget about your problem. Your problem has never gone away. No drug will take away your problem. Beloved, sleep. After a while, it makes you sleep. Soon you become resilient. Drugs that normally permeate our brain, there is something we call the blood-brain barrier. It's so powerful and strong because God wants to protect our brain. Drugs that permeate it are so dangerous. You easily become addicted to them, which is why I've worked with several thousands of women with depression. The only way is going up, increasing the doses. You become, adaptable to that dose. It doesn't work. Your problem has never changed. It's like you go drink alcohol. You've got a marital problem. Your spouse has made you upset today. You go out for a drink, 10 drinks. Of course, you feel like, and calm, sedated. You pass out and sleep. You've not solved your problem. It's not been solved. Your marital problem is still there. Let the alcohol go away. It will even be worse after 5 days because it's building up. What we don't attend to will continue to build up. The mess we don't clean will continue to build up and take over. So, beloved, you need to be sound. You need to be fully alert. Your mind is so powerful. It's your most powerful ally and weapon to fight and conquer any challenge or situation you're going through. Talk less of depression. In fact, depression attacks the mind. But God says He's giving you sound mind. Let me share this story with you. Thanks for sharing with us. You're welcome. Thank you. You're blessed. Love you. I get the contact. Fabulous. Thanks for sharing with us. Thank you. Love you. Let me give you this situation, how powerful our brain is. Everything I teach, I practice it, okay? I practice it honestly. If I don't even practice, I cannot teach, which is why I teach effortlessly. And it begins to come to my awareness of how powerful we are as humans, of how powerful my mind is. Before, it's just the norm. When I had my first daughter, I was still in the medical field. By then, I was not doing all the mindset transformation work. So my mind was just the mind of an intelligent person, but not like someone who was personally worked and developed themselves. I was just an intelligent medical professional, okay? And you can have some of the most intelligent, highest, whatever, people in the world, but unfortunately, they are the worst in living life. They go to life, they are alcoholics, they are depressed, they cannot live life because they've not invested in their personal growth and development. So before, it's just norm for me. If I go to the hospital, anything, I'm going for my tooth, it's just the norm. I don't even need to think that, is it going to pain me or it's not going to pain me before I make the decision that I'm going to take anesthesia. I just go for anesthesia. When I became more aware, and the first time in my life I fasted with my husband for 21 days, 21 day and night we fasted. It was the most incredible experience I've ever had in my life. No food, 21 days, water and sometimes coconut water. It was incredible. I felt my energy at the highest I'd ever felt in my life, at the peak. And I understood that my body was purified. And immediately after my fasting, the day that my fasting was ended, in fact, the 21st day, I had my appointment with my dentist. In fact, I'd not even finished my fasting. Now I'm more aware, I've got more knowledge. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, Sylvia, you've been fasting for 21 days. You've purged your system. You've cleansed your system. Your system is super alert and at the highest of purity. You don't want to go and take anesthesia. So when I went there, the first thing he asked me, are you going to take some anesthesia? I'm like, what if I don't take it? What are the probability? He says, okay, if you want to try, let's just see how it goes. I'm like, you know what, Sylvia? I cannot. And I know drugs are toxins. In fact, pharmacia comes from veleno. In Italian, pharmacia, pharmacopoeia is veleno, the study of poisons, okay? Check it, what pharmacy means. It's a study of poisons. So I'm so aware. A system that is purged, completely cleansed. The first thing I want to introduce, I'm about to break my fasting within a few hours, is poison. I'm not going to take that anesthesia. What happened? I said, Sylvia, this is the time. You've got to work your mind. You've got to say everything you teach people. You've got to apply it in your mind right now. I stood there. I was fully present in my mind. I said, I was not going to take an anesthesia. It was a bit painful. They were doing it, drilling. Can you believe that? I was speaking to my mind. You can do it. And then, of course, I understand the power of breathing. You don't tighten your breath. No, breath is important. Oxygen is important. My body needs oxygen. My brain needs oxygen to fulfill its maximum potential, to be so alert for my armies to go and fight and conquer the battle. So I never held my breath. I ensured my posture. I was so aware. I didn't tighten my shoulder. Each time I became aware, I'm like, relax. I'm speaking to myself. Relax, you can do this. I'm breathing. It was painful. I was smiling. And I knew that when I'm smiling, I'm releasing endorphins. I'm like, Sylvia, smile. It's going to be okay. It's going to be over. You can do this. Just release the natural endorphins. And I'm telling myself as I'm speaking, I'm creating new pathways, new neuronal pathways, because again, being a scientist, I understand that we can alleviate pain. Pain is released through some receptors. They call them nociceptors, and they have their pathways through which the pain signals are released. You know, then they will trigger other hormone sensors to say, oh, pain and all of that. So I understood that you have the power to bypass pain by creating where you don't focus. There is no energy going there, so you don't fear or feed it. Understanding that mechanism, I needed to focus on my mind on creating a new pathway through which I will release ease. I will release natural analgesics, endorphins, oxytocin. As I'm saying, I love myself, you are releasing the love hormone, oxytocin. Have you ever wondered why this hormone is released at its peak when mothers are about to give birth, that contraction rate, and when they are breastfeeding. How God is so incredible. You are bringing a child into the world. They need the peak of love. Oxytocin is the love hormones. And as you are breastfeeding them and nurturing them and welcoming them into this world, they need the highest dose of love. So understanding all of these things, my surgery, my procedure went without any anesthesia. I used my mind, a few minutes of pain, but I could overcome it. The threshold, I was willing to, and I need to be fully present. If you give me something, not anesthesia or anything to block my mind, you reduce the ability, the capacity of my mind. Let me share this other story with you. Recently, I've always struggled with this, not struggled, and honestly, my family, I think it just came, I was talking with my cousin. We have a lot of low blood pressure, anemia, most of us. Each time I've been pregnant, I usually have to take iron, and I think it really runs my whole family. Most of us are anemic. So of recent, I do a lot of sports, of course, aerobics help and all of that. I do eat healthy, but sometimes if I'm that busy, of course, I get busy. I may not get some balanced food, but I'm so conscious and intentional. The last time I went to the hospital, I realized I go up the stairs, I feel some palpitation. I'm quite normally fit. It's not normal. I went to the hospital and my GP was like so surprised. She called me. She said, at this rate, you had to be admitted. I said, hold on. I came to you smiling. I'm very fine, taking care of my family. I came to you well dressed. I was even going for a meeting smiling. And suddenly, because you see a report on the paper, you want to admit me. She said, at this low state, of course, they'll call all of those clinical things that may happen, this shock. I'm like, hold on. I know why. I've been fasting a lot during that time. Sometimes I'll fast for 3 days. So my whole system had changed. Yes. And I said, I know what has caused this. I know what has triggered the anemia. Give me a few days, it will come back. And of course, just prescribe me iron, supplements, because of course, at that time, it was super low. She said it was even a miracle to see me like that. I told my elder sister who is a nurse, she was screaming that in the US, they would just keep you in the hospital. I said, but people are really crazy. I'm fine. I'm great. I come there because you see a physical report based on what they know. They don't understand how great our mind is. And that's why the placebo works. The placebo does work. You have people come into the clinics with leukemia, real physical ailment, and they give them just candies, chocolate, glucose, in the name of drugs, in quote, you don't even know. You get cured of leukemia. This is the power of our mind. This is the power of our mind. It's not the power of what the book says. If you believe it, you feel it, you can say to this mountain, be moved, and it will literally be moved and thrown into the sea. So I went there now. My leukemia was my anemia, I had really bad anemia, in quote, according to them. I'm like, okay, put me on this drug. I told her, I know what I was doing. I've been fasting a lot. I will change. My eating habit completely changed. There are times when literally every 3 days I'll fast. And because I was fasting no food for 3 days. So because we're doing some fasting program with my church, where every 3 days we fast, but they will fast at a certain time. But I was just doing it because I realized the power of fasting. It was so healthy and beneficial for me. So they said, no, they have to do some certain number of tests. They won't just take me for my words. They want to be able to exclude, which I understood. You understand that, no, maybe I'm not losing iron, I'm not losing blood somewhere, this, that, there is no bowel, whatever, cancer. So they have to do some certain test and all of that. And one of these was colposcopy. Very, very uncomfortable test. Very uncomfortable. I don't wish anybody ever gets to do this. In fact, only the preparation was the most uncomfortable situation I've ever put my life in. In fact, at one point, my husband was saying, do you really need to do it? This is not going to cure you. They're only going to find out whether you have a certain problem. And we are confident that you don't have this problem. I'm like, sweetheart, but if I don't do this, honestly, it's just good to do it. I know I'm so much for optimism, conquering, healing naturally. That's in medical professionals, where I understand that God has given medical doctors the gifts, the resources, the knowledge and wisdom to be able to restore this body. Of course, to a minimal state, to how far they can go and to how far research has actually been able to direct them. So I said, I have to do it. When I went there, the most, oh my goodness, very uncomfortable. Wasn't really painful, but so uncomfortable. The corpus, it was terrible. And the first thing they said, I'm going to take gas or air, or they give me an anesthesia. I'm like, whoa, I'm going to use my mind here again. I'm not taking any gas and air, because what? If I take gas and air, normally before I just take gas and air, it affects my mind. It sedates me. It brings me, when you're sedated, you're almost sleepy. So the goal is my mind is sedated, I'm sleepy. But if I have a sedated mind, my mind could never act at its full potential. My mind is sleeping. A sleeping dog cannot do anything. A sleeping mind, which is your army, cannot fight. The best army in the world, when they are sleeping, they have no power. Even the weakest army in the world could beat them up. You know, I think a sheep that is alert and alive could beat a sleeping lion. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take this. She said, are you sure? I said, yes. I said, I'm going to use my mind again. This was about a year after that. I'm speaking to my mind, and one of the other doctors, she started talking to me. She's just asking me, how are you doing? What's your name? What do you do? At one point, I turned and looked at her. For her, she was consoling me. I said, I'm really sorry. I need to be quiet. I need to completely focus all my energy into my mind. I cannot be talking. Because what happens if you're in the room, you want to use, it's like you're going for a battle. You're focused. You cannot win a football match when you're distracted. Your energy, your goal, everything is focused. I told her, if she's asking me all of these questions, I'm thinking, I'm responding, I'm not fully present. I cannot maximize the power of my mind. I said, I'm sorry. I cannot talk to you right now. I'm not going to use any anesthesia. I'm not going to use any gas. I need to ensure my mind is working at its full capacity. I need to focus all the energy. You know the power of focus. Light that is dispersing all over the place. Sunlight, for example, may not burn you and me. That same sunlight, when collected through a magnifying glass, it brings a powerful focal point. It can burn a sheet of paper. It can set a sheet of paper on fire. That's the power of a focused mind. So I could not be distracted talking to that nurse, to that doctor. I said, permit me, I'm sorry I cannot talk to you. Believe me, I focus all my energy. Again, I understand the power of breathing. Your shoulder must be always relaxed. I'm like, put your shoulder down, take a deep breath, don't tighten up. You are a conqueror, you are capable of doing this. When I'm feeling the pain, I speak to myself the power of affirmations. I am blessed, I am whole, I'm feeling relieved, the pain is dying down, I'm feeling more joy, I'm bringing more joy to my body, I'm bringing more energy to my body, I feel better. Believe me, I was not physically feeling better, but I'm like, I'm feeling better, I'm breathing in, taking more energy, I can do this, I am a conqueror, I am great, I am powerful, I have the power. I kept speaking, I kept speaking, I kept speaking. The procedure lasted for about 30 minutes. After that, the doctor was like, wow. You are the definition of what a patient means. The patience, I've never seen that. And the lady came to me and said, I surely need you to coach me, the other doctor. I said, I had to focus. She said, what do you do? I said, I'm a natural coach. I'm a transformation coach. I work a lot on people's mindset. There's no way I would teach you to do that. I don't apply it myself. 2 powerful occasions, it was powerful. So what am I saying? When you start taking antidepressants, that your depression, the cause of your depression, there's always a cause. In fact, this study showed that everyone they studied across, they've had one problem or the other that they were not capable of dealing with. It was so overwhelming. And they felt the burden, so much of them, that they became so stressed. And after some time, they lost control. And they felt like life was too much on them. So in other words, depression is as a result of our various burdens in life. The stress we take upon ourselves, okay? Cortisol and all that don't just stay in your body. They are broken down. They are broken down as they are released. So that's not really the things, but of course, so many other things. And the truth is, it's only when our mind gives up, truly. It's not the physical pressure, because like I just told you, if you give up in the mind, in fact, it affects the mind. Because depression is the absence, I always say that, is the opposite of passion. Show me a passionate person who can be depressed. Passion is energy, is life. It elevates you, it uplifts you. It gives you a fear that is beyond your fear. People see me when I speak so much energy. It doesn't necessarily come from me, it's the passion. My passion fuels me ulteriorly, more. And the depressed person has less energy, less passion, less life. In fact, is depressed, it takes the life of you. And that's why you want to sometimes commit suicide, you want to die, because you feel like you are dead even though you are living. You feel like you are a living dead person because there is literally no life. Passion is life in you. So if you look at that, if you just bring the energy, the passion, it's at the level of the mind. It's at the level of the mind. And that's why it's paramount that we become mentally resilient. If you have a problem with your spouse, you need to get to that stage where I'm solving this problem, or you're strong enough to say I'm walking out of this because they've hurt me and destroyed me, but I will be fine. No drug can solve my marital problem. No drug can make me feel better about a situation that I've not physically dealt with and found the solution, or left it behind, ignore it and said, I'm not going to allow this situation to have stronghold over me again, and walk away. So that's what the study showed. That everybody who is depressed is one thing to the other. And then they get to a place now, because now you don't have life in you, you are not accomplishing a lot like people who are so active and passionate. Of course, because life, we are here to live a purpose. If you don't feel like you are purposeful, you are useless. Okay, the opposite of purpose is useless. You know, human is useless because we are all destined for a purpose. But what happens? These people start feeling useless now. If you're useless, it's worthless, like they have no what, they have no value. And people who see no value in their life have no reason or purpose to live. That's just it. But if you have to support them, they really need that therapy, that talk. So I do a lot of work in that. It's one of my favorite. I've got some books that I've written as well. People, as I work with them one-to-one, sections, workshops, and then they go through those books. Powerful, powerful. Simply to overcome life challenges. In fact, we apply this. But it's that sometimes we forget, because we are overwhelmed by our challenges and trials, that we forget to apply them. But what this book simply does is like showing you, when you get into a dark room, you don't panic. Am I right? You don't panic that you fall and stumble. It's too dark. Once you know where the light is, you know the purpose of the light, and you know where the switch is. Yeah, it's okay. There may be darkness in that room. All you need to do is turn on the light or turn off the light. When you turn it on, light comes on. When you turn it off, light goes off. And that switch is our brain. Our brain has the power of transforming your mind from that of a depressed state to that of a lively state, to that of a powerful, optimal, and optimistic state. But it's understanding where that switch is, and it's in your mind. It's in your mind. And we are living between the battlefield of the physical realm and the spiritual realm. And our mind is that gateway that will either determine what we are manifesting or experiencing in our physical body. Is it the challenges, the ups and downs, the trials, the turbulence of the external world? Or the peace, the blessings, the power of the internal spiritual realm? Which is why it says, by your very creator, my very creator, who knows exactly how he designed me and you to function. He says, you are not given a spirit of fear. Fear results to cortisol, endorphins, I'm panicking, I don't breathe well, my mind cannot function. Because when your mind, when you are at that state of stress, okay, the opposite of it, they say rest and digest. You don't even digest, because your body is like, your mind is saying food is not important or fundamental now for this body. The most important thing is survival for this body. There is no point feeding this body when it will not even survive. So at that stage where you are stressed, it's also a process where they say, you know, there is no digestion. Okay, it stops digestion. It stops digestion, because you need to conserve the minimum energy you need. All your energy for your armies to go fight a war, or to run and flee from the enemy, so they can actually remain alive. So you don't digest. So you are actually really strenuous and all of that. But once you are in that rest state, you can rest, and it says rest. So you're constantly working. Of course, you get overwhelmed. You're tired in that constant, but you're not doing any physical thing to change your life. But your body is exhausted. Because you're like someone who is running marathon every single day, literally, even though you're never practicing. But your physiological system is doing it for you. Fight and fly, fight and fly. Every single day you're fighting or flying. I'm sorry. Every single day you're fighting or you're running away, you get so exhausted. And you don't have the energy to do the things that really care. Like maybe taking a shower, taking care of yourself, spending time with your children, cooking a good meal for yourself. Because you're super exhausted. You have been fighting spiritual, whatever battle and all of that. The real battlefield is in the mind. The switch, like I was saying, is in the mind. Whatever way you're going to allow, it says a mind that is governed by the spirit is life to the body. It's life, in other words, it's passion to the body. It's bringing you alive. A mind that is governed by the flesh is dead to the body. In other words, you allow that trial, that tribulation, that divorce, that pain, that unemployment to boil you down, to weigh you down, that you've lost your job. You become so stressed. You allow it to tell your mind who you are now. You're a loser. You just lost your job. You're a divorcee. You are a single mom. You have nothing. No one. You're not good enough. This person just told you the worst of worst. You allow it. You bring death. In fact, you bring lifelessness into your body, which is the same as that depressed state of being. That even though you are alive, there is no life in your body. So you see, it's practical, physical things. We are so powerful, more powerful than we could ever think or imagine. So if you have any problems with your health, mental health, physical health, then I really want to help you and support you. And I hope you've been inspired. I hope you've had a bit of ideas as well and knowledge of how you can really take control of your mind, how powerful your mind is, so you can really step out and live a fulfilling and purposeful life. It's been a true pleasure and privilege to be with you. Thank you all for joining me. Do share this video. I'm going to be coming up. If you want me to do any specific topic, please, darling, put there and share. You know, I plan, my schedule is hectic because like I said, you know, sometimes during the lockdown, I could do more and more there, but because I have a lot of my natural work day is coaching, empowering. These things I do here, I do them on the ground live. You know, every Wednesday we are running, you know, sessions. Sometimes I would love to come live, but these women share some really vulnerable stuff in the sessions that we don't want to put live. So I might not come, but if I know there is a need, I will always do my best to create that time because this is the work God has called me to do. So please, Claudette, Grace, all of you, if you have any specific theme you would love me to talk about, I'm more than happy. I might choose a day of the week that I will just come. You know, often I was thinking Wednesday, but Wednesday we have a lot of like one-to-one sessions and live training sessions that, like I said, sometimes the women share a lot of things that we don't want to put live. And so we'll not be coming live every now and then. But if you need my support in any way, please do let me know. If you have any questions, anything you want me to deal with, marriage, we'll also be having some boot camp, power couple boot camp for you to revive your marriage and have a divorce-proof marriage. We'll also be having like some family workshops, how you can really relate, especially with your teenagers, you know, cultivating that grounded, unshakable relationship with them so you become their best ally, mentor, and you create a healthy relationship of trust. And other ones, you know, a lot of programs on writing. You want to publish your own books or your child wants to publish a book. We'll be doing a lot of creative workshops. In fact, we'll be doing a lot of work with the library. We are collaborating with some libraries in Liverpool. And like I said, if you want us, we can do it Zoom. I mean, now with technology, there's really no limitation. You must not be in Liverpool. We can just jump into the Zoom. I coach a lot of people from my office through Zoom, and they're in the States. I've got clients all over the world. I've got mentees all over the world. So it's really no limitation. If you want to make use of my services, you can check my website. I do a lot to support you. And if there's a specific thing you want me to talk about, like I said, please just let me know. And kindly share this video to bless someone. It's been a privilege and honor to be with you, to serve you today. And I wish you a glorious day. Don't forget to take advantage of the endless work and opportunities we have. Some of them are fully funded. God bless and lots of love. It's Dr. Sylvia Forchap-Likambi. Thank you all and God bless.